So, before concluding, and just want to share one thought and one concern. One thought is, or rather, it's an experience. Whenever I'm teaching, I teach a course on leadership. And in that, there are two segments of experiential learning that I use. One is called the outbound. The outbound set of exercises and activities, which is a very, very powerful experiential learning format. And you may be aware, cinque is in this business. They do a lot of outbound activities. And that, I believe, I've been using it since 97, and I found it a powerful tool to use because it helps you to, as a person who is engaged in those kind of activities, it helps the person to reflect better. And the change that we're talking about on the panel here, there is change not only at the knowledge level, but also at the attitude level and at the emotional level. So that is one thing I wanted to share. And the second thing I want to share is, I have been in the last 5 years asking my students to work on a venture for one term. Something like what Professor MP Jaiswal was sharing about Deepak Jain's sharing. I've been doing it for the last 4-5 years, where I ask students in my course to do a venture. I tell them you take up anything, because by the time you come to term 5, you'll be aware that you have learnt all the core courses, and you have learnt quite a lot of term 4 stuff. I mean, you have the whole range of courses under your belt. Right now it's elective time. So I say, okay, you've learnt everything. Now it's high time that you guys practice. And trust me, that people say has been one of the most powerful inputs that they get in the entire program. Reason being, it helps them to practice all that they have learnt, right from creating the blueprint, the strategy, managing the team, and right down to actual delivery. Okay, this is what I wanted to share. And now the concern that I wanted to raise. With all the talk about technology, one thing which was coming to mind is technology the next God? Because everything has been subsumed to technology, including thinking. And the reason why I say it, I just had one activity that I had given my students, and that's called the skit. I was quite excited about the performance. And 3 groups, they did a great job. I said, wow, great ideas and all. Then in my usual way, I started asking, whose idea was it? No, ma'am, we all did it. Okay. Okay, tell me again, where did that idea come from? Ma'am, we went to YouTube. We checked all about, I checked almost 50, 60 videos. And after that, we came up with it. Okay. Have you improvised and added something to it? Because I have to evaluate and give marks. I can't give marks to what has been downloaded from YouTube. So they said, yes, ma'am, little bit. We have done this year, we have done this year. I said, okay. Now, it's a constant challenge for a professor to be able to give an experiential learning project which they cannot download from the internet. And that is the challenge one is constantly facing. But the bigger thing which comes is technology is dumbing down people. The over-reliance on Google God, the over-reliance on YouTube, the result is that everybody says, yeah, it's available. But I say, my God, you're keeping your brain so pure. It never thinks. It never thinks. Why? Because you say anything I need is always available. But when are you going to remove it from there? Right. This is my big concern. Because when we say leadership, fundamentally it is who is the person who thinks, who is the person with the idea. And for that idea, you should be able to practice your thinking skills yourself. And technology cannot be the filter through which you view the world. And 2 other things where I think it's a big challenge for management professors. Can we teach our students how to deal with ambiguity? Can we trigger their curiosity? And can we trigger their creativity? And this, I don't think there is any substitute. If technology can be our great aid and support, if that is the way we use it, it's fantastic. If we are going to subsume ourselves and make ourselves subservience to technology, then God help, because then machine becomes more powerful than man. And as we have studied, as we have read comics and stories in our childhood days, the world is taken over by machines. So that was my concern that I wanted to share. And I want to thank our panelists. I think a lot of new sharing of what is happening in different companies has come out. If anybody has any question, we can spare 2-3 minutes. Otherwise, high tea is waiting.